Hello English learners, and welcome back to Learn English Online. I am Liam.
And I am Luna.
Today we're taking a deep dive into a challenge that comes up a lot for English learners, speaking, and, maybe more importantly, how to handle making mistakes when you speak.
That's right. It's clear that making mistakes is, well, totally natural when you're learning. But how we correct them and how we actually practice speaking, that can make a huge difference to your progress.
So our mission today is to give you practical strategies, proven techniques to help you feel more confident, more in control of your spoken English.
Exactly. Think of it as a roadmap to speaking more fluently and effectively.
Okay, let's unpack this idea of mistakes. We all make them, right? Even in our native language sometimes.
Oh, definitely.
But when learning English, is there a difference between, say, a simple mistake and what we might call an error?
Yes, there's a really important distinction there. An error usually comes from not actually knowing a rule or misunderstanding it.
Like maybe getting a verb tense wrong consistently?
Precisely, like saying I goes instead of I go or he goes. That shows a lack of understanding about that specific grammar point. Errors often need some reteaching, maybe a clearer explanation.
Okay, so errors are about not knowing. What about mistakes then? Are they different?
They are. Mistakes happen even when you do know the rule. Maybe you're speaking fast or you're a bit nervous or just, over-enthusiastic.
Or maybe your first language interferes for a second.
Exactly. So you might know the passive go is went, but in the heat of the moment, you accidentally say goed. That's a slip-up, a mistake. You can probably correct it yourself if you stop and think.
Right. Now here's something really interesting I noticed. Sometimes the learners who seem really good, really motivated, they actually make more mistakes. Why is that?
It sounds like a paradox, doesn't it? But it makes sense. These learners are often more confident, they talk more, they aren't afraid to sort of have a go.
They take risks.
Yes, exactly. They're testing things out, trying new words, new structures. They're actively experimenting the language.
So making more mistakes in that case is actually a sign of progress.
Often, yes. It shows they're pushing their boundaries. And frequently, these risk takers might even catch their own mistakes and self-correct as they go. It's active learning in action.
That's a great way to think about it. It links to this idea of inner language, doesn't it? That personal language system we build.
It does. Your interlanguage is that unique system you create between your first language and English. Mistakes are a natural part of building that system.
But there's a risk too, right? Something called fossilization.
Fossilization. That's when an error, if it's never corrected or addressed, becomes a fixed habit. It gets really hard to change later on.
Like a bad habit baked in.
Kind of, yes. So it brings up this really crucial question. How do we correct mistakes effectively without discouraging learners from speaking? It's a balancing act.
Finding that sweet spot.
Definitely. And teachers, or even just practice partners, need to think about what to correct, when to correct it, and how. Generally, this falls into two big approaches. Immediate correction.
Right there in the moment.
Yes. And delayed correction, which happens after you finish speaking.
Okay, let's talk about those immediate techniques first.
Right.
What are some ways to correct someone right away without, stopping them completely?
Well, one subtle way is using nonverbal cues, just a simple gesture.
Like raising an eyebrow.
Yeah.
Or a slight head tilt.
Exactly. Or maybe pointing a thumb backwards gently to signal a past tense issue. It's just a little nudge to make you think, was that right?
I saw some fun examples too, like invented symbols. Making a T with your fingers for a missing the.
Yes. Or crossing hands for wrong word order. Pulling an ear, perhaps, for an irregular past tense kind of sounds like irregular.
Or scissors for cutting out extra words.
No.
A buzzing sound for a missing B verb.
These can make correction less scary, even a bit playful, especially when practicing with friends. They encourage peer correction, too.
So gestures and symbols. What else for immediate feedback?
There's echoing. That's when your partner repeats what you said, mistake included, but with a questioning tone.
Like if I say, he run fast, they might say, he run fast.
Precisely. That rising intonation prompts you to notice and fix it.
Okay. And then there's recasting.
Recasting is very common and quite gentle. Your partner just repeats your sentence, but correctly. So if you say, I go shop, they might just naturally respond, oh, you went to the shop.
Ah, so they model the correct form without explicitly pointing out the error. Keeps the conversation flowing.
Exactly. It's very encouraging. And sometimes all you need is a simple prompt to try again.
Like, say that one more time, or Think about the verb tense there.
Yes, phrases like give it another go empower you to find the correction yourself.
Okay, so those are immediate corrections.
Yeah.
What about delayed correction? You said that's important for fluency practice.
Yes, very important. When the goal is just to get you talking, expressing ideas, constant interruptions can kill your confidence and flow.
Right, you don't want to feel like you're being judged on every single word.
Exactly. So with delayed correction, a teacher or partner listens while you speak, maybe during a discussion or presentation, and quietly notes down significant errors.
Without interrupting.
Without interrupting. Then, after you've finished, those errors can be discussed. Maybe the sentences are written on the board anonymously.
And then the group works together to correct them, like a puzzle.
That's a great way to put it. It becomes a collaborative learning task, not personal criticism. You can even discuss which mistakes actually blocked communication and which were minor.
That helps you focus your learning efforts, I guess.
It really does. For learners who know some grammar terms, the feedback might be more specific, like, you used the wrong tense here, or remember the article.
I also read about something called the speaking graph. That sounded interesting.
Oh, the speaking graph. Yeah, that's a neat visual tool. While you speak, the teacher draws a line on the board. It goes up when you're speaking clearly and fluently.
And dips down a bit when there's a significant mistake.
Right. But the key is, it visually shows you that most of the time your line is probably going up. It highlights your strengths and shows that mistakes are just small parts of your overall communication. Very encouraging.
So the big message here seems to be, don't feel like every single slip needs immediate correction.
Absolutely. It's about selective correction. Sometimes, especially when fluency is the main goal, it's okay for a teacher or partner to, let's say, turn a blind eye to minor mistakes.
Not ignoring them completely, but choosing the focus.
Exactly. It's about prioritizing communication and confidence building. Sometimes you need to let small things go to encourage the learner to keep talking, keep trying, focus on clear communication overall.
Okay, so that covers handling mistakes. But what about actively building fluency, making your speech smoother and more natural in the first place?
Great question. Proactively working on fluency can actually help reduce mistakes, too. There are some really cool research-backed techniques for this.
Let's hear them.
Okay, one very effective method is the 4-3-2 technique.
432. How does that work?
You start by preparing a short speech, maybe 4 minutes, on a topic you know well. Your hobbies, your job, a recent trip.
Okay, got it. Then what?
Then you deliver that 4-minute speech to a partner. Immediately after, you find a new partner, and you deliver the same speech, but this time you only have 3 minutes.
Oh, interesting. Faster.
Yes. And then you do it one more time with a third partner, but now in just 2 minutes.
Wow, that sounds intense. What's the benefit?
Well, the repetition helps you get really familiar with the language and ideas, making them more automatic. The changing partners keeps you focused on communicating clearly.
And the time pressure.
That pressure pushes you to speak more quickly and smoothly, to condense your ideas. It really boosts your speaking rate, your grammar recall, and your confidence for real-time conversation. It's surprisingly effective.
Okay, 432. What else?
Chunking. This is about learning language in chunks, not just individual words.
Chunks. Like phrases.
Exactly. Multi-word phrases that native speakers use all the time, like, by the way, no way, at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to it.
Ah, those set expressions.
Right. Learning these fixed expressions, collocations, idioms, it helps your English sound much more natural and spontaneous. You hesitate less because you're not building every sentence from scratch.
You have these ready-made blocks to use. Makes sense.
It really does. Then there's role play.
Pretending to be in different situations.
Yes. Like ordering food, handling a customer service call, negotiating something. It gives you a safe space to practice spontaneous speech for real-life scenarios.
So you can try things out without real-world consequences.
Precisely. Whether it's scripted, partly scripted, or completely improvised, role-play builds communication skills, helps with grammar and pronunciation in context. It's very practical.
Cool. What about shadowing? I've heard of that.
Shadowing is great for pronunciation and rhythm. You basically listen to a recording or someone speaking, and you repeat what they say almost immediately, like an echo.
Trying to match their sound and intonation.
Exactly. You're training your mouth and ears to work together, internalizing the natural flow and sounds of English. It can really improve your accent and overall speaking clarity.
Okay, interesting. And a gallery walk. That sounds different.
It is. Imagine students write short texts or ideas on posters, and these are put up around the room like in an art gallery.
And then?
You walk around, read what others have written, and maybe add comments or questions. Then you often discuss it afterwards.
So it mixes reading, writing, and speaking.
Yes, it's very interactive. It enhances speaking skills through peer exchange and having to articulate your thoughts about what you've read. Great for fluency and confidence.
And finally, storytelling.
Oh, storytelling is fantastic. Just telling a story, a personal one, a fictional one, recounting a movie.
Why is that so good for fluency?
Because it pushes you to organize your thoughts, use descriptive language, connect ideas smoothly. It improves vocabulary, comprehension, expression.
And it's probably more fun than just drilling grammar.
Definitely. They boost creativity, confidence, and makes learning really memorable and enjoyable. It's a powerful, versatile tool.
Okay, lots of great techniques there. So how can listeners start putting this into practice easily? Maybe with something common.
Let's take a very common topic. Talking about your daily routine. Everyone has one.
Right. It comes up in conversation all the time. What did you do today? What's your typical day like?
Exactly. It's perfect for practicing basic structures and building confidence because the content is familiar to you.
So think about the basic actions. I wake up, I get dressed, I make breakfast, I go to work, I eat lunch, I finish work, I go home, I watch TV, I go to bed. Simple stuff.
Simple, but essential. And remember the grammar. We usually use the simple present tense for routines. I eat breakfast. She starts work at 9.
And those adverbs of frequency are important too, right? Always, usually, sometimes, never.
Crucial. They add detail. I usually walk to work. I never skip breakfast. I sometimes watch TV in the evening. It makes your description much richer.
How about structuring it? Just listing things can sound a bit robotic.
Good point. Use linking words. Start with first I or in the morning I.
To connect the steps.
Use then or after that or next. And to finish, maybe finally I or before I go to sleep I.
And adding times helps too. At 7 a.m., around noon, by 10 p.m.
Definitely. Time references make it much clearer and more natural. First, I wake up around 6:30. Then I make coffee.
Okay, so how can we practice this routine speech, maybe using some of the correction ideas?
Well, try recording yourself. Just a short, maybe 30-second description of your morning routine.
And listen back.
Yes. And if you hear a mistake as you're speaking, try to correct yourself right then and there. Say, oops, or let me say that again. Practicing self-correction is a really valuable skill.
And if you practice with a partner?
Ask for specific feedback, not just was it good, but did that make sense? Or was my pronunciation clear on this word? Or maybe ask them just to listen for one specific thing, like verb tense.
One correction at a time keeps it manageable.
Exactly. Keep stress low, keep confidence growing. You could also try interviewing your partner about their routine, which gets you listening and asking questions.
Or have them act as a secretary, like you mentioned before, noting down maybe one or two key errors while you speak without interrupting.
Perfect. That combines delayed correction with focused practice. It's all about active listening and providing useful, non-overwhelming feedback.
Wow, okay. We've really covered a lot today. From understanding mistakes versus errors,
to looking at immediate and delayed correction techniques,
diving into fluency boosters like forthcoming to and chunking,
and applying it all to talking about your daily routine.
So the big takeaway seems to be consistent, targeted practice using different activities.
That's it. And remember, fluency isn't just about speed. It's about speaking clearly, confidently, naturally, improving step by step.
So for everyone listening, what's the action step?
Your action step for this deep dive. Choose just one new thing we talked about today. Maybe it's trying the 4-through-2 technique with a short speech. Maybe it's focusing on using linking words when you describe your routine.
Just pick one and try it this week.
Exactly. Integrate one new strategy into your practice. Don't try to do everything at once.
Think about how you can make your speaking practice more effective. Maybe focusing on flow and selective correction, not just chasing perfection. How can you make it more engaging for yourself starting today? That's definitely something worth exploring further.